Good morning to you. It's 6:30 here, which is a little late for me in the morning, but I usually get up and practice a little bit earlier. But I'm just gonna do my meditation now and do some yoga, and then I've got a morning of writing ahead, some work on the book and things, and some other bits and pieces. I've got to write some things for some descriptions for some malas that I've had made, especially in India, that are going to go up on the website this week. So, and there's a wonderful shop as well that actually takes some stock from me too, and kind of sells things on our behalf. So I've got a beautiful day planned, and somewhere maybe before I start the writing, I'll go off to the woods for half an hour or something. But I just wanted to say good morning to you, and wish you a really wonderful day ahead. Or if you're watching this later in the day, then I hope you had a beautiful day. I'm going to do my practice now, and for those of you who do meditate, or who are interested in meditation, sorry, I'm a bit sleepy. It's not about how long you sit for. This is something I hear a lot from people. Oh, I can only sit for 10 minutes. I can only sit for 20 minutes. I have no time. And time is the thing that we actually don't need any more of. You have the amount of time that you have. It's just that it's the here and now that is the access point into the sacred, into kind of the beingness of life. And yes, a period of time each day, or 2 periods of time each day, which is actually most beneficial, morning and evening, to kind of get to know yourself, and to kind of start seeing the kind of the conditioning that we've built up in us, the resistances to life, and then to kind of remain in life and kind of begin to transcend through those things. And then if we need a bit of help with some things, we find the help we need outside and orient our life around that. We're not trying to get rid of anything. We're trying to be whole in our lives and transcend the things that have been objects in our way, so that those things become valuable later on. We will relate to others because we've had certain experiences and things. So if you have no time to meditate, then just while you're out and about today, just if you feel the beingness and life in your body, and just kind of look at the space and things outside of yourself, and just we're not spacing out and going somewhere. We're just about being really here, just like everything in nature is just here, and we're just becoming our natural selves, or returning to our natural selves, even though that return may be for kind of the first time. So how long do you sit for? If you have to sit for an hour in order to feel like a human being, then I personally would think that's too much. There's nothing wrong with it if it works for you, sitting a long time, but we're not after accessing some kind of state that we try to hold on to. What we're doing is we're removing, transcending the object consciousness, the things in our head, the things in our emotional body that we've kind of built up, and have been conditioned into us by society, family, culture, and so on. Not to reject them, but to transcend and be fully awake, so that we relate to everything in reality. It's not like we're trying to get out of the world. It's that we're actually being the world, but not the crazy stuff. And you don't need to fight against that. You just come home over and over again, and that builds up, because it's taken as long as it's taken to get conditioned. It might take a little time to remove the conditioning. So sitting for hours at a time, maybe it helps. Maybe it helps. But I would say that it's much more important to becoming aware. Becoming aware. I don't know if that even works as a sentence, but moving into awareness, that's better. Of, first of all, seeing the conditioning that's there, forgiving ourselves, and moving into self-caring and self-loving practices to support ourselves through this time of transition. Not trying to get rid of things in a desperate hurry, but then learning our beautiful true life energy and the awareness that we are, that comes before all that, and then they kind of mostly just dissolve anyway, noticing where the ego kicks in and pulls us back into that old way and all that sort of stuff, noticing where we're blaming others, noticing the voices in the head and the kind of the obsessive tendencies and things like that, and the ideas around love and relationships and how everything works. And then not rejecting anything, but just seeing what is true behind all that, even behind the feelings, the strong feelings that we have, because those two are triggered from conditionality, and kind of just allowing space around those things. So as we sit, it's initially that, it's that awareness that's necessary, and it's not necessary, but it's also innate. So it's already in us, in everything, and nothing can exist without this awareness. It's where all of life comes from. It's life itself, or even the place that life comes from, if you're aware of that space that's around life, which I know there are a few people who are, and if you're aware in that kind of way, then that's astounding. But it's not you, it's not this mind, it's not this small mind of conditioned elements that's aware. It's the larger, more kind of total being that we really are, our fully and beautiful selves. I said this would be 2 minutes, me. So anyway, look, I'll crack on down the meditation mines now, and I'll dig away some of that object consciousness and break through to the gold of being. No, I don't. Mostly, I'm very blessed that in the last few years that to have a kind of almost like kind of total experience, I suppose, of just the awareness a lot of the time, and where I kind of I'm still learning is aligning the outer life more. It takes time for things to settle down once we begin to shift into true consciousness, and there's no rejection of the world at all. It's just about, for me, really now about being in the world, even though initially it looked like a movement away from it. So, like I say, I'll crack on, and I'm going to do some yoga after this. I've got juice already made from yesterday, so that's breakfast sorted, which is fantastic. Little walk in the woods, and then writing time. So have a blessed day, and I'll check in with you from the woods probably. Okay. yeah, this particular path is kind of not somewhere that people from kind of the tourists kind of come at all. We get a lot of visitors to the town because it is such a remarkable place. It has to be careful that it doesn't slide over into getting lost in just tourism though, you know. We need to keep what's wild and true and raw and alive. And yeah, and they tend to walk in certain paths and things when, you know, those who haven't come for the shopping kind of come for walking and things like that. But this path, I've noticed, kind of just tends to be kind of dog walkers and myself. And yeah, so nothing to say. Chopping wood, carrying water, writing books, you know, loving each other, breathing. Just amazed by the moss on this tree. Just enjoying the green glow, the life of it, even though we're in kind of winter state still. And yet inside the tree, life is moving in its own way. My favourite poet, Iku, says you can, in winter, you can chop a tree into pieces, looking for the life in it, and all you will see is wood. But then when spring comes, blossoms, and yet when you look inside the tree, they're nowhere to be found.